Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new spin-off series of the Manufacturing Culture Podcast called Manufacturing Culture for the Future. We're going to talk with CTE students across the country about what they want to talk about in manufacturing. They're going to give us a quick background of their journeys in manufacturing, how they got to be at this point in their lives. But then we're also going to talk about what is the burning topics in manufacturing that they want to talk about. Today, our very first guest is Noah Lobene from, where are you from, Noah?
From Gates, New York, but the school I go to is in Spencerport.
Okay. And what's the name of the school you go to?
Mount Robosis 2 or Wemoco.
Wemoco. So that's what threw me off when I interviewed you guys on the podcast, because Prince's email says Monroe to Bosse's, and then you guys kept saying Wemoco. I had no idea what was going on. But welcome to the very first episode, Noah. Thanks for being on. Thanks for taking the time out of your day, whether that's school or your internship or whatever you got going on. Thank you very much. Noah, tell us your background. On the podcast, you talked about wanting to always be in welding. How did this all come about for you?
It all came about when I was in history class. I was reading in a U.S. history textbook, and I came across these guys in a picture, black and white picture, sitting on top of the Empire State Building in 1912, building it. And it gave me a huge inspiration, and I'm like, I want to do that. I bet they're making a lot of money, and I bet they're loving what they're doing, walking all over those I-beams with no hoists, or, whatever the hell they call them.
No, that's an awesome. That is one of the most iconic photos, not only in manufacturing but in construction as well. That's pretty cool. So that's what did it for you, huh?
Yep.
How old were you when you saw that photo? What year history was that?
It was probably about 7th grade.
Very cool, man. Very cool. All right, so how have you now gone from seventh grade history class to being part of this Wemoco CTE weld program and getting an internship there locally? How did this all progress for you?
Well, after I found that out that I wanted to do welding, I kept that thought in the back of my head all the way to 10th grade when I was able to choose if I could go to Wemoco or if I wanted to go to Wemoco or not. So then I chose to go to Wemoco for welding. And so along came junior year, and I walked in to my first day of that class.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very uncomfortable for me because I didn't show up the actual first day because that school started the day before my home school.
Okay.
So it was really awkward walking in the first day. But after the first few weeks, I got to know everybody, especially Mr. Prince. And once we got to know each other, then that's where it all kicked off. And he drove my inspiration through the roof, and he still has.
That's awesome. That's awesome. He sounds like an amazing teacher, somebody that after school specials are made about, right? That just like changes lives and does great things. That's cool. All right, so let's talk about a couple of topics. When before we talk today, or before we started recording, you gave me two topics that you really want to talk about, and the first one is the future of manufacturing. Tell us your thoughts about the future of manufacturing, because you're one of the people who are shaping the future of manufacturing. So what's it look like, man?
I think that less people are still going to go into the trades, but older generations are going to push us younger folk to go into the trades. And
Okay.
that along comes the new inventions and innovations of technology like robotics and stuff like that. Because since companies can't find help, they're going to look to start looking at other opportunities to solve that problem. And
Cool.
therefore, with the introduction of robotics and other advanced technology, that demand for the human needs will decrease.
Okay. Okay. So do you think it's going to be more of a reskilling or an upskilling of current employees and a change in the way that CTE programs are teaching to teach more of that mechatronics type stuff? Or is it going to be robots literally doing the job and automation doing the jobs and just not as much human interaction?
I feel like it's going to be more along the robotic side of things because once companies see the full potential of this new technology, they're not going to want to hire humans to do the job. I mean, they
Sure.
still need a few humans to run it and make sure all the equipment is running good and doing their jobs. But other than that, they're going to lean more toward robotics.
Okay. So with the invent and the the AI platforms out there right now, right? Chat GPT and all these other things. Uh how does that play a part in this robotics revolution that you see coming in the future?
Feel like they're going to be self-learning technology. So for every mistake they make, they're going to learn it and they're going to improve it and they're not going to make that mistake again and they're just going to self-teach themselves like us humans, but 3 times better than a normal human.
Okay. And so Noah, if this is where you think the industry's going, right? Why are you so invested in being a welder, right? I mean, you're one of those humans. Are you going to be one of the ones who makes it and are better than the robots? Talk to me about that kind of different dynamic.
I want to be smarter than those robots, but that will never be a thing for a human because a robot will always be smarter than a human.
Okay.
A human
Okay.
can't learn as fast as a robot because with a robot you can just put some code in and it'll have it nailed square right down.
Sure.
Unlike human, where the human has got to practice and practice and practice. But I feel like I have that chance in between the last generation and the next generation because I feel like the next generation is when all that new technology will really play a real part in the manufacturing industry.
So you're more of the generation that will help shape what the robotics look like for the next generation of manufacturing.
Yes.
Okay, I dig that concept. I dig that concept a lot, man. Um, so the other thing that you wanted to talk about is women in the workforce, right? We all heard on the episode you work with some pretty tough women, and you go to school with some pretty tough women. What are your thoughts about women in the workforce?
If you want my honest opinion, I'm very gender neutral about that. I'm just more of the focus of if they want to get in the industry, put them in the industry. And if they have the skill, we need that skill.
Right.
We need like 2 to 300,000 welders.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you're male or female. We need your skill if you've got that.
Right. And those three that were on the podcast, they seem like they know their stuff. I mean, they've gotten good jobs, the two that have graduated. And what's the vibe been like in the shop, right? Has it been a family type atmosphere? Is it a team when you're going through this learning journey that you've been on?
It's both been a family and team together type thing.
Cool. I like
It's
it.
with the family, it's always been the life lessons, and the teamwork is with projects and other things that need to be helped with around the shop.
Cool. So how do you think, I mean, talking in those gender neutral terms, right? How do we get more humans, more people interested in careers in manufacturing? And that could be welding like you, that could be machinists, that could be 3D. Pardon me. How do we get more young people interested in these kinds of careers?
That is honestly a very loaded question, but in my opinion, I think it's just advertisement and getting it out there, like the U.S. Navy or the U.S. Army with all their recruitment ads on like YouTube or all throughout the internet. I feel like commercial TV ads to inspire young kids like myself.
Yeah. Okay.
It's more about getting the manufacturing industry out there and expose the younger generation more to it.
Yeah. And so you didn't have a whole lot of interference, if I remember our conversation correctly. What are some barriers that other people have to getting into the trades? Is it family? Is it perception of the industry? Is it they just don't know about the industry? What do you think is preventing these people from getting involved in CTE programs in high school?
I think it's like the lack of knowledge and the thought that everybody needs to go to college. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what every parent has told their child. You need to
right.
go to college to become rich
Yeah,
or be well off. That's
right,
it's really basic perception.
right.
And maybe
I
for the people who actually do have knowledge of the trades, they're just not doing it for the safety reasons of it.
got it. So you think that perception of lack of safety culture kind of plays a part in that too with some
A-
people? Okay. Okay. So Noah, what else do you want to talk about? We went through your two big topics. What else you got? You have anything else that you want to share with the world? Any more knowledge you want to impart?
Be wise,
Be wise. I like it.
humble.
All right, wise and humble. Those are two things you said on the podcast last week. That people need to, or that lessons you learned was humility and being humble. Well, Noah, I really appreciate you being on today. This has been an awesome first episode. I don't know how many people are going to listen, but if you are listening or you watch this, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll put more young people on the platform here, like Noah. If you're interested in being a guest, reach out to me. Either comment below or go to manufacturingculturepodcast.com. Check us out. Send me a message through there. Appreciate everybody being here. Noah, go back to school, go back to work, whatever you're in the middle of doing. Keep making things. You're a really cool kid. And let me know if you ever need anything in your career, man. Would be more than happy to help you out any way I can.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah. See you later, bud.
See ya.